No, I mean, he goes into the TV and then they're running through different TV shows. Sometimes the TV show people can see them, and also the remote can control it. Hello. Uh, uh, you better get this or not. Yeah, right. Hi. I'm Scotty. You're not. Um, the Halloween Horror Month, and today we're talking about Wes Craven's Shocker. Yeah, it's a movie I've kind of wanted to see for a while. Heard a few things. I was not prepared for how wacky this movie went. The reason I'm doing this is because uh, I haven't announced this yet, but this year's 31 on 31 will be horror directors. And one of those directors is Wes Craven. So this is one of the movies I'll be covering in that I'm going to be ranking in that, so I needed to find and review it and put it in there. And I guess I can't say it'll be high up because of all the other movies that are in it that are good, but I don't know. I actually liked this. I liked it. I really enjoyed it. It's a weird one. The plot is that a serial killer is chased down and sent to the electric chair, but he had made a deal with the devil and has come back as a ghost through the electricity and everything. And if that sounds familiar, it's because it's almost the exact same plot of House 3, the horror show, which came out the same year, so it's hard to say who's ripping off who. But haven't seen both. Haven't seen both. I can tell you right now, this one goes in so many different directions. I thought that was wacky with the talking turkey and shit. Or turkey or chicken, whatever. This one. The movie stars Mitch Pileggi as Horace Pinker, our villain, a serial killer who has a strange connection to Jonathan, played by now director Peter Berg, who did the Hancock and Battleship, which I still haven't reviewed yet, and many others. Yeah, Peter Berg, I know that name. And yeah, he's a director. And yeah. Jonathan's a football player. Although this first scene confused me, because like he doesn't seem to remember anything because he got knocked on his ass and his girlfriend is there. The girlfriend is so confusing in this. It's just... That night, he has a dream that his family has been murdered by Horace Pinker. And of course, he lives in a. He doesn't. I'm like, but wouldn't he already be there? No, because I didn't realize he was in college. He shows up. Just done to find out his home family is dead, and he begins to tell his dad or foster dad, adopted dad, what has happened verbatim, and he's very confused as to why. And it turns out that he has some kind of connection to Pinker. So, yeah. Pinker figures that out too, and that night he attacks and kills Jonathan's girlfriend. He's unable to get to him in time, so he seeks revenge. So, he and his friend Rhino, yes, that is his real name, he does the dream thing. He goes in the dream, and he tries to figure out where he's going to strike. He does that, and so he chases down. This is a weird scene. This is weird scene. He chases him down, finds the place. As soon as they get there, cops swarm the place. And you're thinking, oh, he must have called the cops. Like, no, hey, what do you think you're doing? You can't go in there. And they don't know that Pinker is there. Like, so what are they doing there? They follow Jonathan? I don't know. It's weird. But, yeah. And they end up catching him. Right? And he goes to prison, goes to jail. It's put in the electric chair. But he's made a deal with the devil. So now he comes back as this electricity ghost that can hop from body to body. If only it were that simple. So, But before this happens, he reveals that Jonathan, his connections, because Jonathan is his birth son. He is Jonathan's birth father. And, yeah, it turns out that Don, that's the foster dad, adopted him. I don't even know if he knew that that's what. Well, I don't know. Turns out he shot Horace in the leg, which is why Horace has the limp. And I just want to point out that this guy has a limp, yet the cops were never able to catch him without someone who can jump into dreams. And unfortunately, one of my first big negatives is that even though he is deep and he is a ghost jumping into people's bodies, he still has the limp. Because I didn't notice that at first, and I'm like, what? Limping? What is it? You still got the limp? That doesn't make any sense if he's dead. If the limp is caused by a mortal wound, now that he's dead, the limp should go away because he's not mortal anymore. But he's still got the limp, and it passes to any body he jumps into, which makes no sense because they don't have a broken leg. So Wes Craven directed this. It was produced by a production company brought through Universal Studios, but a production company that was ran by Alice Cooper's manager. They also produced Prince of Darkness and another movie. I don't know what the other one was. Which explains why Alice Cooper is in Prince of Darkness. So, yeah. But, yeah. So, Craven was given carte blanche to do whatever he wanted. And boy, does he. Wow. This was also supposed to start another franchise, and it didn't. I don't know, because I'd want to see more. But, it's never about the people, because I wonder if there was more people who wanted to see where this would go. But because the studios only care about the money and not what fans want, you know what I mean? There are several movies I want to see continuation of. I actually wanted a third Independence Day. I wanted to see where they were going to go with that. They made money. Sorry, nope. I wanted a third Fantastic Four movie with the cast from the 2005 movie. Didn't make enough money. Sorry, nope. You know what I mean? So many movies I wanted, but because it didn't make enough money like the studios wanted. I wish it was more on, I don't know, nowadays the fan reception is not as good as it would have been back then, I guess. I don't know. But, yeah. Mitch Pileggi plays Horace Pinker, and he's really good. I like him in the role. I know him from Supernatural. He plays Samuel, the grandfather of the Winchester boys. He was also on Stargate Atlantis as Culver. No, I forgot his name, but and of course he's Walter Skinner on the X-Files. He's been in other things, but yeah, he's good in this. And I actually like Peter Berg in this role. I think he does a pretty good job for what he's given. And Rhino, the actor who played Rhino, was the bad guy in The Crow, City of Angels, which it's okay. It's okay. I've soured on it most in recent years. I used to like it just fine. The first three were fine, but I don't know. That one's gone down for me. But he's Richard Brooks is the actor, and he's good in this too. He tackles Pileggi at one point. Well, he's in Don's body, but as a football player. Yeah. So Jonathan is trying to take him down. There are several things. There's a whole scene at the park where he's being chased by this cop who is played by Vincent D'Onofrio from, wherever the red dot goes. Yeah, bang. Yeah, from Friday the 13th, Part 6, Jason Lives. Yeah, him. Vincent D'Onofrio. Where the red light goes. Yeah, bang. Yeah, and then he jumps into a little girl's body. Cause like, and you gotta get there because he's like, jumps in someone else's body, and then sees a little girl riding a bike, and she's like, she bumps into him, and he says, "I'm sorry, oh, it's okay, sweetheart," and drives off. And I'm thinking, what if that was the killer and he just got away? Well, no, he's still in the other, because we saw him in the other guy, but he does jump into the little girl, which causes issues with the mom when it looks like Jonathan is going after her, the little girl. Yeah. Uh, Eventually, he chases uh, him to the coach's house. He kills Ted Raimi, because I guess that's a rule of any movie that Ted Raimi's in. Remember the head slicer from Intruder? Or is that Sam Raimi that gets that? One of them. Anyway, bread slicer, head slicer, bread slicer. And then he goes after the coach. Then the ghost of Jonathan's dead girlfriend shows up, whispering. She only whispers in this movie. I don't know why. And they tell the coach to fight it. The coach can't, so he ends up stabbing himself in the chest. I don't know if he does that to try to stop him or if that's Pinker. But Pinker jumps out. And then Don shows up. What is frustrating with this scene is that this whole time, like this stuff's going on, and Pinker's trying to find a way out. He finds a light socket. The whole time, Don's pounding on the door. Jonathan! 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 I'm just like, fucking break down the door. Someone answer the door. Just stop with the knocking. Eventually he breaks in. But there's a weird thing here where you don't see him at first. Then he comes back. He's like, Jonathan, what's going on here? He's like, it's after Pinker goes in the socket. What's going on here? He's like, there's an APB out for you. There's a mother was freaking out. Something in the park. They say you killed Vincent Grestafaro, which doesn't make any sense. He's like, but it's weird. He just died. He's like a husk, like Pinker. Looks at him, and I'm like, so when does Pinker get in his body? Because like I'm thinking he's Pinker the whole time, but there's a part where he grabs a lamp and gets shocked. What's it? The damn electricity, and then it looks like he's evil. But like, I don't think he would arrest Jonathan, even with the bodies are in there. It doesn't make sense that he would believe. Like, okay, he's like, he sees the bodies and goes, "Oh, that's how you knew about what happened to the rest of the family in the beginning." And I'm like, no, that makes no sense. That makes no sense. Unless he's already Horace, but it's implied that already Pinker, but it's implied like electrocution is what does it. But we get a pretty good scene here because they lock him they put him in the squad car, and you see him. He starts limping. Which, the limp is so fucking stupid. The limp wouldn't transfer. Here comes Rhino, tackles Pinker in Don's body. Somehow he gets away from the cops, even though they grab him. He somehow gets away. He just tackled a police officer, detective, whatever. He gets away, and he sets up this thing with his friends at the power plant, whatever. And they're gonna set up, and he calls this news reporter who's played by John Tesh, and says, "Hey, you stay here. We're gonna bring him to that TV. You just stay with it. And get your report. Like, you want to pace up? No, I trust him." And this is when they end up going into TV. Like I was telling Chibi Thule at the beginning of this. They go into TV. They're going through various different TV shows, and somehow the remote also controls Pileggi. I don't know, or Pinker. And Pinker ends up getting caught in the TV, and that's really how it ends. It's not really conclusive because again, they're supposed to set up sequels, so it's not quite over yet. But you know, and like the dead girlfriend thing, because at the end he's like, "Oh, look at the stars, they're beautiful." Yeah, they are beautiful. All right, that's how the movie ends. By the way, there's some good music in this. You got, of course, Alice Cooper, No More, Mr. Nice Guy. That plays. Some other great rock music and metal music of the time. It's 1989, by the way. Then there's... I like the look of things. I like the look of Pinker as a ghost. It's not too much. It's not too much of an effect. This was the 80s. It looks pretty damn good. I like Pileggi's performance, and it sucks when they decide he's got to jump from body to... I'm like, this dude was a ghost could be cool. But he's got to jump from body to body, which results in different actors taking on the role. And other thing, Vincent D'Onofrio and the coach. And Don. I don't think anyone else does anything justice with the character. 3 actors do good. Even Vincent D'Onofrio is like crawling around the whole time. He's not really up. And you gotta tell, he takes on whatever ailments that the body he jumps into has. So, he shoots this runner or whatever, then jumps into that body. But the guy's been shot, so he can't move it all that well. Has to take down a little girl. Little girl is not that smart either. I don't know. Little girl's pretty good too, I guess. But like, I just wanted more Mitch Pileggi, you know what I mean? Like I said, Peter Berg does a pretty good job. The girlfriend, though, she's always whispering. Always whispering. I don't know why she has to talk like this. It's weird. Richard Brooks' Rhino was good, but I wanted more of him. He was good for his appearances in the thing. He's there to help his friend. He tackles a cop for him, but I wanted more. I also wanted the dad, Don, to be more included in the plot other than to be a foil. Because it's like, I don't know. Given what he sees and what he hears at the beginning of the movie, I felt like he should have been in on his son's powers. But it just, no, it doesn't make much sense what they do with him. So, the whole jumping into TV thing is weird. It gets really weird. One thing I want to point out is that Wes Craven often complained that all anyone wanted to make was something like A Nightmare on Elm Street. The movie Deadly Friend was heavily changed after the studio looked at his initial cut and said, no, this is not good. It wasn't supposed to be a horror movie, but they changed it and added stuff that very much resembled A Nightmare on Elm Street and Freddy Krueger. There was dreams and stuff. You know, the guy from Tremors, Nestor? Hey! That guy? He plays Christy Swanson's dad in that movie, and he dies at some point. There's a whole dream sequence where he comes back as this weird burnt guy. But that doesn't make any sense to the movie. And for always complaining that they tried to copy and paste Nightmare on Elm Street to get that success. There's a lot of that in here. How does Jonathan track down Pinker? His dreams. Very often. Horace Pinker is spouting off one-liners like Freddy Krueger was at this point in time. It's all, very close to Freddy Krueger. For wanting to do his own thing and have no control, he certainly relied on a lot of Freddy Kruegerisms for this movie. I'm just saying. Now, shocker. When it comes to this movie, how do I feel about it? I liked it. Like I said, I liked it. I'm shocked to find out people don't like this movie. I actually really like it. I like the wacky, weird kind of horror movies. You know what I mean? Like From Beyond, Reanimator. It's movies that throw everything at the wall and hit their mark. It hit the mark for me. Anyway, so I'm going to say this is pretty good. I really liked it. So, I said it won't be too high because there's so many good movies in that. I've already told you Wes Craven as a director. So, we'll see, if I announce anymore, What I should do is the week of it. Let's see how many directors do I have? 7, right? Let's see here. 8 days before the 31st. I'll just do the pictures, like I said, if I remember that, because I'm filming this in the end of August, so I don't know. But yeah. So what are your thoughts on Shocker? I was surprised because of all the negative I heard of this that I liked it. Let me comment below what do you think of Shocker. Let me comment below, like, share, subscribe. Thank you for watching. I'm Sky, and I'll see you in the next one.